There was this poor guy who was completely lost in life. After asking two strangers a couple of questions 6 months later, he became a stockbroker earning $800,000 a year. Chris was a struggling father who had bet all his savings on a medical device, thinking it would be an easy profit. But it turned out to be a disaster. No one bought it, and the device just gathered dust at home. Now his wife was forced to work 2 jobs under immense pressure, and all she did was mock, curse, or glare at him. Chris hadn't paid rent in 2 months, had twice delayed his taxes, and his car had been towed away due to too many tickets. This was the lowest point in Chris's life, and it had been a long time since he had last smiled. One day, he stumbled upon a wonderful place where everyone seemed happy. He stopped a man and asked him curiously what he did for a living. The man replied that he was a stockbroker. This planted a dream in the heart of the 27-year-old Chris. He wanted to have that kind of happiness. Chris took action and quickly applied for an internship, but his low education level made companies uninterested. He didn't give up and waited every day outside the company for the HR manager to appear. Finally, one day, he managed to hand his resume directly to the manager, but he heard nothing back. He continued waiting outside for a whole month until he saw the manager again. To talk to him, Chris lied and said he also needed a cab and happened to be going the same way. In the cab, Chris kept introducing himself, but the manager paid no attention. Completely absorbed in playing with a Rubik's Cube, the hottest toy at the time, the manager said it was impossible to solve. Chris bet him that he could solve it before they reached their destination. The manager smirked in disbelief, but his smile quickly faded as Chris solved the first side, then the second, then the third. Even the driver couldn't help but turn around to look. By the time they arrived, Chris had finished the puzzle. The manager was stunned and looked at the young man beside him for the first time. "Good job. I'll see you soon," he said. But soon, Chris realized he was in trouble. The manager hadn't paid the fare, and Chris couldn't afford the $15. He had to run, apologizing as he went. It was a humiliating dash all the way to the subway with the driver hot on his heels. In desperation, Chris jumped onto a subway car, but it was too late. He had lost a month's living expenses. Chris was heartbroken, with sweat and rain streaming down his face, unsure if there were tears mixed in. When he got home that night, his wife had left with their son, something he could never allow to happen. Having grown up without a father and only meeting his own at 28, Chris had vowed to be there for his son as he grew up. The only good news was a call from the manager, asking him to come for an interview the day after tomorrow. The next day, Chris picked up his son early from daycare. But troubles never come singly. The landlord issued an ultimatum, demanding Chris move out by the next morning. Chris managed to buy another week by offering to repaint the walls. The next day, while painting, new trouble arrived. The police came because of unpaid tickets, and Chris was taken to the station, where he was to be held until the next morning, the morning of his interview. Life was really making things tough for him. The next day, right after being released, with the interview time approaching, Chris didn't have time to change and ran towards the company as fast as he could.